Recently, a streamer named Caitibugzz went onto Twitch to talk about her story of being assaulted. Now, a lot of people have immediately linked this to being about YouTuber and Minecrafter GeorgeNotFound.
By saying I wouldn't be here without Shelby. I was ready to disappear with this secret forever. I never knew that creators were allowed to talk about these kinds of things.
Now, before we get into the meat and bones of today's video, it should be said that these are just allegations. This is her story, and please feel free to listen to Katie. Don't dismiss her, don't be rude to her, but don't take everything at face value. At the end of the day, these are allegations, and GeorgeNotFound has already made a tweet saying that he would never do anything like this, dismissing these, saying that he will be doing a stream later on. So please look at both sides of the situation.
A little while ago, my story had almost been leaked without me knowing, so here it is on my terms. Here's my story. Last year, at the beginning of summer, I was assaulted by a significantly older and popular content creator.
Now, due to this and the ages given, a lot of people immediately think this to being GeorgeNotFound. Now, her story is important and people should definitely listen to this in full, but of course I can't play her full VOD here for obvious reasons.
I was freshly 18 and had just graduated high school a few weeks prior. I remember a moment around October where I made a comment about a certain group abusing power over minors in their DMs, saying they had minors in their DMs. It was an absent-minded comment, and I apologized for it, of course. It was a possible subconscious jab out of my own personal resentment. My comments filled with people saying that I didn't care about grooming victims, and that I thought assault was a joke. And I remember sitting there, reading the comments, scrolling over and over again, heart beating faster. Over half of the comments had him as their profile picture. I just wanted to die. I was embarrassed of myself, and I was angry, and I wondered if I could ever find peace.
Now, from what she's saying, this is a heartbreaking story. She's clearly in some form of emotional distress, repeating the events that have allegedly happened to her, and she's conveying her story. And of course, with a situation like this, it's always a he said, she said situation. People shouldn't immediately jump to conclusions, but of course, listen to her and be sympathetic. She also says in this VOD that she was inspired by Shubble to come forward, finding comfort in her bravery, giving her more hope and aspirations to be able to come forward about her story. Now, she also doesn't mention GeorgeNotFound by name, like Shubble doesn't mention Wilbur by name. People have just made connections from what has been described here. Now, GeorgeNotFound actually came forward immediately by stating on Twitter, "I'll be doing a very serious stream later today. This post is just to make that clear. I'm gathering all the information and evidence to share. I've never and would never break someone's sexual boundaries or assault anybody." In the replies to GeorgeNotFound's statement, friends of Caitibugzz actually responded by saying that he's wrong, that he's a liar, and that he's stupid here. Caitlin was doing a stream talking about her experience with being sexually assaulted. The info she provided that 1, it was VidCon, 2, the person was 26, 3, the person had went to college, 4, it was a big content creator, 5, when she made the joke about CCs being in minors DMs, she mentioned that half the people had the assaulter's profile picture. While Katie was in the situation with the content creator, her best friend was romantically talking to the content creator's best friend, and they were sent to a hotel room together as a group. This would be referencing the party that had gotten Dream into some dirt about giving underage people alcohol. Rue, who is Katie's friend, may have been referencing Dream enabling George in her tweets, not Wilbur. Now, Rue actually ended up liking this tweet. Now, yet again, people are immediately saying GeorgeNotFound is 100% guilty, rather than waiting for his stream to come out, which he responded pretty quickly, unlike Wilbur, who waited several days, which let the fire spark on. George is nipping this in the bud immediately. People need to just wait a couple of hours for him to respond. Now, George is trying to do something very good here. He's trying to nip it in the bud, answer questions before people get the wrong idea, if they already have the wrong idea. Now, this is genuinely good, and I think people genuinely need to wait for this stream. Now, there's a clip that's going around on Twitter where people are trying to say that GeorgeNotFound is 100% guilty. Now, this is the clip in question.
While they're dancing, and then them act like they don't see him, and him continue to try to like awkwardly shimmy.
That brother's starving.
Around.
He's already
Yeah. And
he's
like,
What if
cooked.
they're just drunk and they don't know what they're doing?
Are you? Well, look, I just think I'm gonna side with Will here and say just treat men or women, just like normal.
Now, whilst people have been waiting for his stream, they're already talking in his offline chat, saying that he's guilty and innocent, and there's a massive debate going on in there. But what is everyone's thoughts about this while we wait for GeorgeNotFound's stream? Please comment down below your opinions.